In this video, we're going to talk about StringBuilder. We also talked a little bit about string buffer, but for the purposes of this course at this point, we're going to concentrate on StringBuilder because StringBuilder is used, it doesn't have to handle multiple things being passed to it at one time, which is what string buffer is for. StringBuilder is the simpler version, and we'll concentrate on that. So the StringBuilder class, it's an alternative to the string class. In general, we want to use StringBuilder. We can use it anywhere a string is used, but it's more flexible than a string because, if you remember strings, they're immutable. So when we start adding things or concatenating things onto strings or combining them or manipulating them, remember, we're creating and destroying objects behind the scene. Java will be creating and destroying objects over and over and over again. String buffer is mutable, okay? And string builder is mutable. So a string builder is like a string, but it's designed for when we're going to be doing a lot of changes to the string. It will be more efficient. So if you have some type of string you're building up, maybe you're reading things from a file and adding them onto a string builder is the choice. If you're doing a lot of replacements in a string builder would be the proper choice. It's not quite as convenient as a string though, because we have to instantiate it using full object notation like we always do with the new keyword. We don't have to do that with a string. So string builder has some constructors. We can just do string builder. So we have to do new string builder with empty parentheses. We can also do a string builder and specify a capacity. So string builders automatically grow as they need to. We don't have to do anything for that. But if we know we're going to add a certain amount of data to a string, we can tell how big the capacity we want it to be. And we can also do a string builder and give it a starting string if we want to. Once we have a string builder, once we have it, we can modify data. So we can append data by characters. We can append strings onto string builder. We can delete starting at a certain index and ending at a certain index from string builder. A lot of the same methods that we use to modify strings can be done on string builder. But remember, when we do them to strings, they're not really modified. We create a new string and they're destroyed behind the scenes, and a string builder actually doesn't have to go through all that work. We can insert data into a string builder. We can replace data in a string builder. We can do a reverse on a string builder. That's kind of handy sometimes. If you keep taking programming classes, at some point you'll have to do a palindrome. StringBuilder.reverse is a great one to use for that. Let's do this string, let's do it forwards, and now let's reverse and do it backwards, and let's see if they're equivalent to each other. So if we have a string builder called string builder, notice this is lowercase s, so this is a variable. We can append the word Java, and then now we're inserting at position 11, HTML and then we're deleting characters 8 through 11, and now that changes it down to welcome to Java. We can do all these different things, and we're going to try some examples, some short examples in a minute. We can also do a toString on a string builder. So once our string builder is all built, once we've built up a giant string builder, we can change it to a string and use the advantages that come with being a string. We can check its capacity. We can look for characters. We can see how long it is using length, stringbuilder.length. We can do a set length. We can do a substring, just like we do with any other string. So you see a lot of the same things you see with string, although string builder is more efficient when you're changing strings often. So let's just look at a quick example. I have a string called my string equals new string here. I could go in here and concatenate my new string equals my new string plus dog if I want to, and let's print it out. So I start out with an empty string. I concatenated dog. Now what happened behind the scenes, we know that the original my new string was immutable. It couldn't change. So it concatenated those two together, destroyed the original, and made a new string called my new string. Okay, so some of this you're just like, well, let's do it with the string builder now, but I don't see how that's going to be any different. And code-wise, it's not a ton different. It's just more efficient, and we have some methods that we don't have, a few methods that we don't have with regular strings. So let's change this to a string builder. String builder, my new string equals, now we can't use the abbreviated notation like we do with string. We actually have to use the new keyword. Okay, and we've created a new string builder. Now, if I want to add something onto it, I can just do dot. You see all my choices here. I can append objects, I can append strings, I can append string buffers, doubles, floats, ints, longs. I can append all kinds of things. And we have all these other methods that we can run too. We have compare to, delete, delete character at, index of. But I'm just going to do dot append. And I'm going to append dog onto my string. Great. Let's do this line again. And this time I'm going to append on cat. Okay, dog, cat. It doesn't look too complicated. It doesn't look too much different than strings other than we have the append method. But it works behind the scenes. It's not creating and destroying objects. So if you're doing a bunch of stuff, you use string builder. That's all there is to it.